Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got ranking the best NBA shooting guard from every NBA team all-time. Video by Austin Sweat. Link to his channel in the description below here, man. So I was actually just talking about this over the other day on my main channel, Crispy Flakes. Because I did a video about like James Harden. I was trying to decide like where James Harden ranked all time. Because I gotta say, like, off the top of my mind, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade. That's top three. That should be locked in. Then after that, you know, you get in the conversation. Is it Iverson? Is it James Harden yet? Or is, you know, Clyde Drexler, some other players out there, of course. But yeah, man, here we go. Let's check this out. Got my bitch ass Slinky. So, you know, it's a golden day right now. And yeah, should be a good video. I did check out the point guards one already too, guys. Want to check that out? It's in my video.
If you missed the point guard video, the link to that's in the description. But I'll also mention again that the only rules for this video is that a player can only be used one time. For the most part, players are getting ranked based on which team they played for, and finally
Luke
we're basing
Kennard,
these rankings solely off of how good
Rip
each
Hamilton,
player
or
played for
Joe
just
Dumars.
that team.
It's gonna be a tough
for example,
one.
if we rank T-Mac in this video for the Magic, we're only counting his Orlando days, not his entire career. So let's go. Number 30. The Pelicans with Eric Gordon. I mean, this one's sad. How is
Yo, what about
Eric
Drew
Gordon, who
Holiday?
was never an all-star, an NBA team's best shooting guard? 29. The Grizzlies.
I'm giving that to
with
Drew
Tony
Holiday.
Allen. I mean, not
Tony
much
Allen,
better.
nice.
The Grizzlies have a guy that only ever averaged double-digit points once in his career, but he still may be one of the best one-on-one defenders the league's ever seen.
Mike Miller was nice.
The Cavs with Austin Carr. I mean, it was either between him or J.R. Smith, so the choice was easy. Number 27. The Nets and Drazen Petrovic.
Yeah,
Klay Johnson would rank here.
Man, I feel like he should be higher, bro. This dude was a three-point go. There's an awesome picture on the internet, guys, of Steph Curry as a child in the stands watching this man shoot a basketball. And it was like that was the moment he decided he wanted to be the greatest three-point shooter of all time. It's very poetic,
Here,
very
but he's
poetic.
gonna be making it on another team, so Drazen takes it. And in only the 2 full years Petrovic played for the Nets, he made a huge impact, averaging over 20 points a game and an amazing 44% from 3. But sadly,
Yeah, I
things
guess
were cut short for him.
Yeah.
26. The Hornets and Del Curry. Dell was never an all-star and
Hurricane
barely
Curry,
ever a
2K13
starter,
fans
but
remember
he was
him.
one of the most consistent 6-men in the league in the 90s.
That was my boy.
Having won the 6-Man of the Year award once. 25. The Clippers and Lou Williams, who really should be ranked higher since he could quite possibly be the greatest 6-man of all time, and this spot was in close consideration with Jamal Crawford. I mean, both men won 2
Yeah, it's kinda
6-man
tough,
awards while with
actually.
the Clippers. But for how Lou held down the team after Tobias Harris got
not
traded
fair, he
last
got
year,
this great
and for the
6-man.
fact that he's won 2 6-man awards straight and is being highly considered for this year for his 3rd in a row, he takes this one. 24. The Suns with Devin Booker.
There we
Booker
go.
deserves to be ranked a lot higher than this, but for as long as he stays
What about
on the
Raja
Suns,
Bell?
it's going
Nah,
to
I'll
be
take
hard for
Devin
that to
Booker.
happen. 23. The Mavs with Jason Terry. All right,
Oh, the
honestly,
Jets.
I thought about ranking Jason even higher.
The
And you
Jets,
might think I'm
yes.
crazy because Terry isn't talking
Woo!
about that much,
I love him,
and
man.
he was a
I
bench
love
player
him.
for most of his time on the Mavs.
I don't think
But
it
you
made the
gotta
woo
remember,
sound.
In the regular season,
That was,
he was an
improv.
essential player for them, averaging between
Bro,
15
what
and
the
20 a game every season.
Bro,
and
my-
in the playoffs were where
I'm
he
a
made
fucking
his name. I
magician!
mean, first off, he averaged between 40 and 50% from 3 nearly every
Guys,
season
my
on the
Slinky
Mavs
is
in the
sucking my
playoffs.
headphones.
And most notably for him, there's the
Oh,
2011
oh shit,
playoffs,
okay,
where he
we're
helped
good.
take down the
It was
Thunder and
backwards,
Lakers,
man.
and nearly outplayed LeBron James
Wow.
and hit huge shots to help win that series.
Oh, so talking about Jason Terry, I didn't miss
that's
much.
why he ranks at 23. 22. The Kings and Mitch Richmond. Mitch
Mitch
made
what?
the All-Star team
Mitch
6
Mick.
years straight on the Kings, while averaging over 20 a game in the 90s, all while being one of the
They called
top
him the
shooting
Pebble.
guards in the NBA. Other lists have him ranked higher, but he only led Sacramento to a winning record and the playoffs in.
Yo, you should give me the Pistons, because then we could have called you the Pistone. Because, like a rock, stone, the rock, pebble, the Pistone. You could have been the Pistone.
One of those years. Number 21, the Bucks and Sidney Moncrief, who was one of the best two-way players in the NBA because of his solid offensive game, along with his top-tier elite defense.
That's too much
He
ass.
was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, earned Michael
Damn, short
Jordan's
shorts,
respect
not
with
it.
him saying, "When you play against Moncrief, you're in for a night of all."
I would not play
basketball.
basketball, short
He'll
shorts are
hound
still
you
around.
everywhere you go. You just expect it. And also made it into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Number 20, the Wizards and Bradley Beal. I wanted to rank
Wow.
Bradley higher. I mean, he averaged 30 a game this season.
True.
And is a
No
big-time
all-star
player in
team.
the postseason too when he makes it there. This Wizards team has been terrible since the John Wall injury, and I mean because they are terrible, and a lot of that's out of Beal's control. But he's got to prove that he can be a good first option that can lead his team to wins to rank any higher.
But that's the thing about Beal. He's never going to be that. I'm not a Beal hater, guys. I actually was really upset he didn't make the All-Star team. But Beal is he's a third option on a championship team. A third option. You don't want him as number 2 because obviously John Wall and Bradley Beal, you know, was whatever. But if he went to like the Lakers and he was playing behind LeBron and AD, it's game over. That team's win the championship.
Higher. For number 19, though, we have the Timberwolves with Jimmy Butler. And okay, he only played one season.
Oh wow,
in
give him the
Minnesota,
T-Wolves?
but ranks this high because of the one reason that Beal needs to fix, and that was for leading the sorry Timberwolves into the playoffs.
And because he wanted to have Jimmy Butler on the list because, you know, Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade, Chicago Bulls, you know, Michael Jordan. Okay.
And it wasn't just a coincidence. He does it everywhere he goes. They were 31 and 51 before him. 47
About,
and 35 with
Wally
him, then
slipped
went
my
back
egg.
down to 36 and 56 again after he left. And I know he usually plays small forward, but he ranks as a shooting guard here because that's what he played while Wiggins played small forward during this season in 2018. Number 18, the Jazz with Donovan Mitchell. Same thing for Mitchell. In his rookie season, the Jazz were supposed to be a
Wasn't
pretty
Pistol
bad
Pistol
team after
P? He
losing
played for the
Gordon
Jazz,
Hayward.
didn't he, as a shooting
But
guard?
he not only led them to the playoffs, he led them to a victory over OKC and has given Utah a winning culture ever since then. Bradley Beal averages better stats, but if a player can average less stats but lead guys to more wins, they can still easily rank ahead. Number 17, the Atlanta Hawks with Joe Johnson, who was a star for Atlanta. Even
Yeah,
though they were
Dominique
just
was
an
a small
okay
forward, right?
team, he made the most of it. He averaged nearly 20 points a game every year and made the All-Star and postseason every season but one. He always got beat up by better teams in his
ISO
career,
Joe.
by bigger superstars.
Former
but was still a
Detroit
great
Piston.
shooting guard. 16, Earl Monroe for the Knicks. Not as popular as most because he played his prime for the Knicks in the 70s, but for those of you who don't know much about
What,
him, he
Earl
was
the
a
Pearl,
flashy
right?
player,
Earl the
helped
Pearl.
the Knicks to a championship one year, made it to the Hall of Fame, and was voted into the league's
He had a
50
pet named
greatest
Earl
players
also,
list.
Earl the
15,
Squirrel.
Ray Allen for the Supersonics. The Celtics spot is already going to be taken, so Ray doesn't get it. And besides, personally, his best basketball was by far played in Seattle. I mean, before becoming a third option on the Celtics, he really was becoming a superstar level player, averaging 26
Buck
a
days
game
were
on
nice,
nearly
too.
40%
It's
from
athleticism.
three. I mean, Boston really did have 3 superstars join together in 2008. Number 14, David Thompson for the Nuggets. The man who inspired Michael Jordan. The man that MJ modeled his game after. Now, most of David's career achievements came in college.
We got much to
and
say about him.
NBA, but for the Nuggets, he was still an elite scorer. He could fly through the air just like Mike and score on other teams like it was nothing.
Bro, that dude looks like Sean Livingston. Bro, was he a freaking Time Lord? I'm not a Doctor Who fan, guys, but I know it's a thing. But that looks just like Sean Livingston. Oh my god, man. Night of the Living Stun. I don't know. That was a bad joke.
Number 13,
but it does look like
the
him.
Pacers with Reggie Miller. Definitely the Pacers' all-time best shooting guard and their
Sorry,
most
Debo.
memorable franchise player. And he was one of the first guys that could shoot 40+% from 3 while also having a complete offensive game inside the three-point line. And he was able to do it successfully. He was way ahead of his time in that aspect and definitely goes down as an all-time great. 12, the Pistons with Joe Dumars.
They're going Joe Dumars. Yeah, I mean, he played a full career at the Pistons. Luke Kennard hasn't gotten to that point yet. So, technicality, just based off that alone. I mean, Joe Dumars is great, man, and, got Rip Hamilton and stuff. But yeah, Luke Kennard will get there. He's already like top 5 all-time three-point percentage on the team.
Dumars was the glue guy for the Bad Boys Pistons. He was like the 90s version of Klay Thompson. A quiet guy that stayed out of trouble, was an elite two-way player
Yes, sir.
that could also shoot 40%.
Built a championship
from three.
team.
He had a winning mentality, and there's no doubt that Detroit would have won either of their 2 championships without him. Definitely an underrated player in the grand scheme of things. 11. The Warriors with Klay Thompson. I mean, pretty much ditto of what I just said about Dumars. Klay's the
Just a better
definition
shooter.
of the perfect teammate, and let's not forget this man has never shot under 40% from 3 in a season. He's
That's
a 3-time
insane.
champ, and at this rate is having a more impressive career.
He
than
even doing it with
Dumars,
the
which
trophy.
is why
3.
he ranks slightly ahead of him. For him to ever break into the top 10 of this list, though, he'll have to step his game up this year. And now without Durant, hopefully he will be able to when he comes
I don't know.
back
I feel-
next
I don't know.
season. 10. Vince Carter for the Raptors. Of course, beating out DeMar DeRozan for this spot, and is still Toronto's all-time best player.
I do think the gap between Vince Carter and Klay Thompson is pretty narrow, guys. I feel like, obviously, like, Vince Carter, just the dunks and everything, and just, his legacy on the NBA. But for when you talk about like player to player, like I don't know, man. I'm indifferent.
Even though he only spent a little over 6 seasons there.
He's very
when things
unaccomplished,
got to Raptors,
unfortunately.
Keep in mind that they were a brand new franchise.
You really think about
They've
it.
only been running for 3 years at the time. And
But I do
they were
love VC,
struggling.
so I'm not
But
hating on him.
only
Just
did he turn them around and bring
unaccomplished.
in a winning culture, helped them in terms of popularity too with his monster dunks. And for how well
like,
he played in his
winning
time
wise.
there is what ranks him just inside the top 10. But for number 9, we have to give it to John Havlicek for the Celtics. His natural position is small forward.
Right, that's what I thought,
but he
small
did play
forward.
3 official years at shooting guard. And in those 3 seasons, won a championship with Bill Russell every single year, and was one of the best two-way players in the league. Number 8, the Magic and Tracy McGrady. I mean,
Yep,
there really
easy.
wasn't much competition at all for Tracy on the Magic.
Evan
He had
Fournier,
4
yeah.
star-filled, injury-free years in Orlando, where he began to make a case for being the best scorer in the NBA. But he had no help on the Magic, and was never able to get more than 1 win in a postseason. And that's why he doesn't rank any higher for as great as he was. And when you're looking at his whole career, it's pretty unfortunate. In Toronto, he was just getting started. On the Magic, he was getting no help at all. On the Rockets, he dealt with injuries, and after that, he was just never the same. Number 7, the Spurs with
Iceman.
George Gervin,
Yep.
who easily beats out Manu Ginobili here. Because this is the man that held the title for the best scorer in NBA history for years. He's one of the greatest
finger
scorers
roll,
of
guys,
all
was
time.
extra,
Was a
extra crispy,
four-time
man.
scoring champion, and it was easy for him. Then number 6 goes to Clyde Drexler for the Blazers. And Clyde's always a guy that gets overlooked because he played in the same era as Michael Jordan. And if he hadn't,
Has his
we'd
hairline
probably
always
think
been
more
that
highly
bad?
of him.
Like,
I'm
even as a
still sure
rookie?
the Blazers are still hurting from the fact that he was the reason they didn't draft Mike, though. Either way, great all-time player. Number 5, the Rockets with James Harden.
Okay, so he's
The
gonna have
man's
Iverson over
slowly been
James
climbing
Harden.
the all-time rankings every year, and he's only getting better. He's dominated on offense ever since joining the Rockets. He's got the scoring, he's got the MVP. The only thing stopping him now from ranking any higher is hopefully a championship, but if not that, he's at least
But
gonna get a
Iverson
finals
don't have it
appearance
either.
somewhere. And if he does, then maybe one day he can
Former
rank
Piston,
over
by the way,
number
Iverson.
4, which is Allen Iverson for the 76ers. And I did consider ranking James over him, but I mean,
Okay.
sure, Harden is the slightly better scorer, and he's a 2-time scoring champ, assist leader, and former MVP. But AI was a 4-time scoring champ, a 2-time steals leader, was a much better defender, was also an MVP, and led his team to the 2001 NBA Finals.
I'm convinced.
Something that, like I said, Harden hasn't
Sure.
been able to do yet. But we do have to give Harden some slack there, because I mean, for the past 3 years, he was going against the Monstars, so there really was just no hope. Number 3, the Heat with
Dwayne Wade.
It's
Yeah, we
simple.
know these
Harden's
last
at 5
three.
because he only led his team to the Western Conference Finals. AI's at 4 because he was able to lead his team to the finals. And Wade's at 3 because he was able to lead Miami to a championship.
Oh, yeah, Wade, yeah,
Plus, helped
clear-cut
LeBron
3.
win too.
Clear-cut
Number
3.
2, Kobe Bryant, no explanation needed. And number 1, the Bulls with Michael Jordan because it's obvious. But that wraps things
There
up.
we go.
Part 3 of Small Forwards is coming soon. So subscribe.
When you get bored of editing, right, guys? No, I mean, that's how I felt about it. I was like, yeah, we know at least, we know at least the top 2, well, top 3. I know top 3, right, man? But yeah, anyway, this is very good ranking. Thank you all so much for watching. Check out Austin Sweat, link to his channel in the description below. And peace out, my friends. I'm gonna play my Slinky. Yeah. Okay. All right.